Hi, everyone. We're going to be focusing on morning routines and things to get you going. I'm Ryan. This is Gray. We have Jordan and Sarah. First, we want you guys to reflect a little bit on what your mornings typically look like. You can pause the screen and think about it. But we want to know if you guys normally exercise in the morning, if you skip breakfast or eat it, and then if you normally ease into the mornings. So our goals for today are to be learning a little bit about the sleep cycle, and then we're going to teach you a stretching routine. And then by the end of the session, we want you to learn about nutrition and what a good breakfast will look like. So as I mentioned before, sleep cycle, nutrition, exercise, and then stimulating the mind.
So I'm gonna talk about what sleep cycle is. Someone also call it a circadian rhythm. So the circadian rhythm is our inner clock that help us to maintain our body function. At a certain time point, our body will know when to release some hormone to stay alert. For example, during the daytime and the nighttime, release some hormone that helps you to fall asleep, such as what we call a hormone called melatonin. The circadian rhythm not only affect us as a human, also affect like plants, animal, all living organism. Um, for example, jet lag, when you're traveling to a different country, cause your body will so used to the cycle that you're in, your body will release hormone regardless the place that you're in, and you will feel sleepy throughout the day. But why is it so important to keep it consistent, have a regular sleep time and wake up time? First, it will improve your sleeping quality. Like I said, your body will so get used to and adapt to your regular routine and know when is the best time for you to have the metabolism, and it also helps you to reduce the risk of neurological problems such as dementia, cause a regular sleep cycle will help your body to clean your waste throughout the body, and also it will help you digest throughout the day. So the key takeaway is you don't necessarily have to wake up super early in the morning, but you have to keep it consistent to have your body to adapt to the cycle.
Okay, next we're going to focus on nutrition. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day. It helps you get your energy through the day, and it also can help with weight loss. It doesn't change your metabolism, but it helps curb your hunger throughout the day. So if you eat breakfast, you won't be snacking throughout the day. People who eat breakfast also tend to get more nutrients because a lot of that is within breakfast foods. And it also helps improve digestion because a lot of fiber is in the grains that you eat, which are breakfast dominant foods. Here are some targets for you guys to reach. This is based on the standard American diet and a 2,000 calorie diet. If you do keto or any other type of diet, these will slightly differ, but here's just something for you guys to look at for a guide. Important things to consider are your sodium intake. You want to limit this to 1,500 milligrams per day. This will help decrease your risk of hypertension. Saturated fats, if you choose foods with no saturated fats, that's going to help reduce your risk of heart disease. And if you choose foods with no added sugar, that's also going to help with your health. And lastly, vitamin B12. As we get older, this is harder for us to dissolve, so it's important that you get a good amount of this during breakfast. So here's some recipes for you guys to use. I provided the links below. One of my favorites is Kodiak pancakes. It has a lot of protein. If you add fruit or something with it, that's a very well-balanced breakfast.
All right, so I'm going to talk to you all about exercises, specifically about stretching. So I provided a link at the bottom. This is an article I found from the Mayo Clinic. So some of the benefits for flexibility just improves kind of your overall ability to move. It decreases your risk of injuries. Remember, motion is lotion. So just kind of moving around kind of helps lubricate your joints, improves your blood flow, and just helps you to complete your daily activities. So here wants you to take away 3 things. So they're in the bottom left corner. So be consistent, be even, be in the moment. So what I mean by that, so with consistency, kind of as Jordan was talking about earlier, so 5 to 10 minutes a day is ideal. If you can do it more than that, perfect. If you can't do it every day, just a few times a day, but consistently around the same amount of time. Be even, so symmetrical. So what you do to one side, try to do to the other side. So sometimes we will stretch the side that is tight or problematic, but that will tend to cause the other side to not get as much attention and then could be problematic. So try to do the same side to each. And then be in the moment. So try to really breathe through these exercises. If you can do it longer than 30 seconds, that's ideal, but at least 30 seconds. So in the next slide, I'm going to show a video and we're going to walk you through some exercises and some stretches. Really breathe through these they have some variation. So if you can't do the initial, we have an example of how you can do it. Or you can just watch them and do it at a later time. So we're going to focus on 4 different stretches to just work through. Some's going to be lower body, some's going to be upper body to just get a nice open stretch through the body. With these, you want to hold the stretch ideally for about 30 seconds. If you can hold it longer, that's great. All right, so the first exercise stretch that we're going to do is the child's pose. So it's going to be for the lower back. So go ahead and get down into the child's pose. So for this, we want to reach and elongate as much as we can first, and then we're going to really kind of ground our hips into the ground to provide a nice stable base. And then you're just going to walk with your hands either direction. So you walk as far as you can in one direction. Hold that for 15 to 30 seconds. If you can, longer is preferred. And then we're going to walk back to the other side. Again, really trying to keep the hips stable when you're doing it. Okay. Go ahead and come up. If you're not able to do that, a variation to that. So go ahead and set it in the chair. All right. So for this, we're just going to take and we're going to cross in the front, just like she's doing. And then we would rotate through that lower back as well. All right, so you would hold that for both sides. All right, so from here, we'll go into a chest stretch. So go ahead and slide forward. Actually, if you don't mind, rotate this. Okay. All right, so then you're just gonna reach back, collapse your hands. For this, you wanna stay kind of nice and tall. You don't wanna collapse over. And you're really focusing on opening up the chest. This does put a little bit of stress on the joints. So we're going to show another exercise here in a second to give a similar response. So again, you would hold that for about 30 seconds. All right, so if you can't do that, go ahead and pop up. We're going to move over to the wall. So we're just going to use a corner. You can use a door frame if you would like. So really, you're just going to lean into that. Again, just being nice and tall. And we're going to focus just on one side at a time. So for that, we're focusing on that side, then we would just rotate. If you have a door frame, you can kind of lean in at the same time, and that would assimilate kind of opening up through there. All right, so for the next one, walking lunge. Walking lunge, beautiful. All right, so for the next one, there is a walking lunge with kind of an overhead. So come down into a lunge. So for this, this is kind of a compound. This is helping open up the hips and the lower body, as well as kind of elongating through the spine and opening up kind of the chest, reaching up. Here, some kind of cueing that we want to focus on is try not to round through the lower back. So what I mean by that is kind of this arch through here. So we want to kind of be nice and tall. We're just going to shift the weight forward as we're leading. All right, so if you can't do that, if you can't get down into that kind of lunge position, we can come back into a chair, and then we're just going to reach overhead. So same kind of position, try not to put too much of a curvature in here, but being nice and tall through there. All right, so the last one that we're going to do is a piriformis stretch. So the piriformis stretch, we're really kind of focusing on kind of working through the lower back, going into the legs. That will reduce kind of some pain through there. And sometimes the nerves that are running through there can cause some issues. All right, so this is the preferred way to do the piriformis stretch. So you just create a figure 4 with your leg. So here we have a 4, if you were to draw a 4, and then you're just going to reach and you're going to grab and pull the opposite leg that you're trying to stretch. This is the leg that you should kind of really feel it. If you can't get into this position because you're really kind of pulling and creating a lot of hip flexion, what you would do is you would take a towel and you would pull it through there, and then you would just pull on a towel, and that allows you to still get in kind of that position as much as you can without causing a lot of hip flexion.
Okay. Well, last up, we're going to be talking about some mental activities to help wake up your brain in the morning. One type of these activities are mindfulness activities. These are just meant to help you focus on being in the moment. Can be a good way to help you set the tone for the day, just a moment to rest. And these activities can help you regulate your emotions. So they can help with anxiety and depression, help you reduce stress, improve attention. Also can just be something fun to do. So journaling is a pretty popular one, but you can do pretty much whatever you want. Some other activity ideas, not necessarily mindfulness, but just something to wake your brain up. You can do reading, you can do drawing, riddles, daily puzzles, anything you want. And then some other benefits besides the mindfulness ones we mentioned before, you can make it social. If you have daily puzzles, you can compare answers with your friends. You can read the book that you're reading for book group, anything you want there. It can just be something to look forward to. And it's something completely flexible. You can do any activity you want, spend as much time on it as you want. And you can put it into any point in your morning routine. Then here, just have a little more detail on some examples of activities, where to find some puzzle books I mentioned. Here's a book of drawing prompts that I really like. And here's a link to a popular word guessing game, just a daily activity there. And just to stop and think for a moment, you can pause if you want, but think of, do you do any of the activities that we mentioned today already? And if you do, or if you don't, are there any activities that you could include in your morning routine?
All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is just a quick quiz, just a knowledge check. So how this will work is on the left here, we have a question. When you finish the question, feel free to pause, give yourself some time to answer, and then on the right side, the answer will pop up. So the first up, what are the 3 B's of stretching? All right, so be consistent, be even, be in the moment. So the next question is, what should you limit to minimize the risk of high blood pressure? All right, so sodium is one of those key things to help reduce blood pressure. All right, what is one benefit of waking up at the same time every morning? All right, it helps improve sleeping quality, decrease the risk of neurological disease, and improve internal body function. Last up, what is one benefit of mindfulness activities? All right, it helps anxiety, reduce stress, and improves attention, as well as increasing fun. All right. So in summary, your morning routines can consist of waking up at similar times, fueling your body, moving your body, and stimulating your mind. Hopefully this helped. We are here. If you need any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out. Hopefully you learned something, and it was a pleasure for us working with you today.